What up, YouTube? It's your boy Ryder back with another class. I got a quick little video for you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Comment about the video. Let me know what you guys think. I'll leave my email and my social media in the description so you guys can be able to contact me. Connect with me on social media, y'all. Let's get it. So I'm gonna get right to it. We're gonna talk about lease purchase programs. In my previous video, I'll let you guys know why those aren't a good deal. From my experience, lease purchase programs did not work for me, and it didn't work for a lot of drivers that I know being in the industry. So my story with the lease purchase program, I was in that program 3 different times in my trucking career. So for the first time, I leased a truck for about a few months. The truck broke down, and when I got to the company, it wasn't nothing we can really do with the truck. So they took the truck back and they offered me another truck to lease from them. So all the money that I put in the first truck didn't go over to the next truck. So now I was just out of that money and I had to start all the way over. So I ended up working with that company for about a year or 2. Then I quit. It wasn't working out. I didn't like how they were handling the business. See, the secret about the lease purchase programs, if work is slow, if there's no work, every Friday you still get charged with the insurance, the truck note, the registration, and reserve. They take the fuel out of it all the time. So for instance, my truck was in the shop for about a month. That whole month, they didn't put those deductions on pause. I was getting charged each week, to where when I got back in the truck and got on the road, I was negative about $4,000 or $5,000, and work was slow. So I was working for a few weeks, of probably 3 weeks the most, and I was negative. Then when I finally got out of the negative, my check was like $100. You feel me? So I ended up blowing that gig, giving them the truck back and walking away. So I didn't get nothing from that. They got their truck back. I didn't get no money back from investing into their equipment. I just walked away and became a company driver. The second time, so I went back to the same company. I won't mention the name. They gave me a truck, and one of my good friends, he wanted to work for me. So they ended up giving me another truck. So that situation lasted for about 2 years. I had breakdowns on the truck. I was paying out of pocket to fix the trucks up. Then the situation didn't work with me and my boy. So I had to let my boy go, because, you know, it's not a good idea. I advise you guys out there, it's not a good idea to hire friends and family sometimes, because once things don't work out on the business side, that messes up the personal relationship. So he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do as a driver, and he wasn't showing up to work, always late, messing up the loads. I would book a load for him. He talking about he can't come in because of this car problem. I would offer to pick him up. He just wanted to work when he wanted to work, you know. And once you lease a truck from somebody, you can't just work when you want to work. You got to have a driver in that truck at all times, because you're getting charged each week for the deductions that are built inside the contract. And that's insurance, the truck note, registration, and reserve. And so that was the bad thing about that. So I had to let my boy go, and then he worked for me for like 2 years. So them whole 2 years that I put inside the truck, I invested a lot of money on that truck, and I had to just give that truck back, take it as a loss. You know, me and my buddy, we ended up not being friends no more. And all the money that I invested into that truck, guess what? It's going in the air. I don't know where that money is no more. I haven't seen it. So my truck that I was working, I ended up staying for like 3.5 years, and it was a 5-year term on the contract. So I just needed like a 1.5 years more, and I would have had the truck paid off completely. So what they do with the lease purchase programs, say for instance, you buy a $30,000 truck, right? They buy a $30,000 truck, and they know the truck is worth $30,000. But when you get in the lease purchase programs, you end up paying like $90K for the truck. So if I was barely learning the owner-operator industry. So if I would have learned to not go through the lease purchase route, go company driver, stack some money up, then buy a truck off the lot, to where I can put $10,000-$20,000 down for a truck off the lot, or even buy a truck cash, and I would have been in a better situation. So I'm leasing the truck for 3.5 years. So I got into it with the manager because work was slow, you know, and I'm a port driver, and at that time, supposedly it wasn't no work at the ports, but they kept sending me back and forth to Sacramento, and I wasn't going for it. Then come to find out, years later, my dispatcher was actually selling loads to different owner operators from different companies for the ports. So the drivers that were port drivers weren't even getting the port work because they were scheming and doing other things under the company, and they were underhanding the drivers that was there and not taking care of them. And that's why that company got sued all the time. I won't mention the company because it was my choice to go back to them and get a truck, and I understood the situation with that company. But let's get to business though. So I quit, and I needed a year and a half to pay my truck off. So all 3.5 years of me paying towards a truck, I probably paid I was paying like $1,000 a week. So what? I probably paid so much freaking money into this damn truck, and to where I screwed myself, because once I quit, I ended up losing 2 trucks, and they don't care, because you know what they do? Okay, check this out. If you lease a truck for a year, you quit, boom, they give that same truck in that same condition to another driver, and they start the lease all over again. And if that driver quits, they keep repeating itself over and over. So when you get into these lease purchase programs, like, they don't care if the truck has problems, and they're going to fix it up a little bit to where it's going to run. And most of the time you have like a little 30-day warranty on the truck, so you can get the truck and you can take it to get DOT inspected, and anything that's wrong with the truck, the company will fix it. But after that 30 days, if you're on your 31st day and a major breakdown happens, that's coming out of your pocket. And if you don't have the money, they'll take it out of your settlement each week, to where if you got a $10,000 repair on your truck, then guess what happens? You're going to sit up there and you're going to be working for free for weeks. They don't take $500 out of each check. No, they're going to take as much money as they want so you can pay their debt off. So now, if you have a repair and the weekly settlement, you're probably negative $2,000-$3,000 a week before you even start. And with the lease purchase programs, Monday and Tuesday is the day that always goes to your truck. The other days, it goes to your pockets and your reserve or whatever, if you're good with money. But some days, like when I was doing the lease purchase program, I couldn't even pay myself. It was so ugly to where, like, if it was a bad week and there was no work, guess what? They don't say, okay, check this out, we're not going to charge you even though work is slow right now. No, they have a business to run, I understand that. So they're going to charge you accordingly to make their business grow, not your business, because they want to keep you trapped in those situations so you can't buy a truck. So what I ended up doing, I made a promise to myself. I said, I got out of the owner operator business for a while, and I made a promise to myself. I said, I'm not going to get back in a truck until I buy a truck off the lot, because this lease purchase stuff is a fucking scam. Excuse my language, but that's really what it is. If you have a good company, if you find a good company that you can work with for 5 to 7 years until you pay a truck off, that's cool. I know a lot of guys from my very first company, from Night Transportation, is a very good company. I really liked that company, but I went to that company for the OTR experience and I got a local. There's nothing wrong with Night Transportation, but one of my buddies leased a truck from them, and he ended up paying his truck off, and he's still with them to this day. We're going on 10 years and he got a truck paid off. A lot of companies aren't like those. The most companies with the lease purchase programs, they will scam you and make you work to death to pay off their equipment. So you're not winning doing the lease purchase. So what I did, I worked hard for 6 months. I started my LLC when I had my when I was doing the lease purchase program. So once I quit, I went to company driver. I worked hard for 6 months. And during this 6 month period, I had my LLC, then I paid for my permits, then I paid for my insurance. Then when I had enough money stacked up, I went to go put the down payment for a truck. And now most banks want lease 40% down if you go to a dealership and you want to use their finance companies, those banks are asking for 40% or more down, because the trucking industry is a high risk industry that we're in. So what I would suggest for a lot of people right now, if you have a good business bank that you're dealing with, you should try to get a commercial finance through your business bank to where you don't have to put 40% down. Because if you buy $100,000 truck and they want 40% down, that's $40,000 down payment that they want down. And it doesn't matter if you have a 700 credit score or 800 credit score. They're going to ask for the maximum down because they want the best deal for the bank. And from my experience, the way the game works with these trucks right now, a lot of trucks are overpriced. Still to this day, trucks are overpriced. Some are coming down, but if you want a brand new truck, you're not gonna get a brand new truck for under 100K right now. It's just not happening right now. Even cars, if you want a high end car, it's like 100K right now, because everything is marked up and they're doing it for their advantage, not for the driver's advantage. And that's what's messed up, because if I have an 800 credit score, I should be able to go and get a truck with zero down. But the game don't work like that. They don't care. Then if you don't got enough experience on your CDL, like if you fresh out of school and you want to buy a truck, they're gonna make you pay a tremendous down payment down just so you can guarantee them if the loan goes in default, they still got money out of you. If they have to repo the truck, they still got money out of you. So that's why, like, when people ask me when I'm fresh out of school, should I go buy a truck? No, you shouldn't. You should go and get the year of experience being a company driver. You should learn the game. And then after that year, you should go buy a truck. Then you have a little knowledge about the trucking industry. Because a lot of guys buy these trucks, they get in the truck, become owner operators, and guess what? Their business defaults because they don't have the proper knowledge about being an owner operator. It's deeper than what a lot of people think, and you have to be business savvy when it comes to running a truck. And while I'm successful in doing this, because I leased my first truck back in 2013. So my first truck was in 2013. Then I probably went back 2016. Then the last time I leased a truck was, I think I gave my lease back in the beginning of 2019. So I have experience, and that taught me how to run a business and become an owner operator. And when I was leasing a truck, I was doing everything and more to the T of how you supposed to run a business as a truck driver. But the thing about it was, when work is slow and when you're leasing a truck from a company, you can't, I'm leasing a truck from you, but I want to go sign up and work for a different company. They're not going for that. They're not going to allow you to go work for a different company. They want you to be stuck and work for them. So if work is slow over here, it's going to be slow for you over there too. So but the company I was with, they said that you can go get work from a different company, but they're going to charge you like an extra $500 to $1,000 a week if you go work for somebody else. So that's not even a good deal, because then you're paying $2,000, close to $2,000 a week just to lease their truck. That's close to $10K a month, and you're not even making that much money as a lease purchase, because they're not trying to give us the best loads on there. That's the sad thing about lease purchase, guys. And I'll advise everybody out there, if you can do a lease purchase program if you find the right company and you're willing to stay for that company no matter what for 5 to 7 years until your truck is paid off. But if you're one of those drivers out there that you bounce around a lot and one little thing goes wrong, you get an attitude and you leave, do not get into a lease purchase program, because you're going to sit up there and be in that damn truck all this time, and you know what's going to happen? You're going to end up walking away from the lease and walking away from nothing. And I learned it 3 different times that, I don't look at it as failing. I look at it as a learning experience, that I learned the owner operator game. And now that I got my own truck and I'm doing everything on my own and I'm building my own company, it helped me because I'm taking that knowledge from there and I'm putting that same knowledge into my own business now, and that's what's helping me grow. So that's why a lot of things that happen in life, don't never look at it as a failure. Look at it as a learning experience. But I'll try to teach you guys everything that I know so you guys don't have to go through it. So if you guys want to get into the lease purchase program with a company, make sure that company has decent freight and make sure you can tolerate being with that company for at least 5 to 7 years. And unfortunately in California, there's not going to be no lease purchase programs unless they overturn the AB5 law. But for the other states, if you want to do that, make sure you can stay with this company for a while. Don't just get a truck for a few months, then, because you're wasting your damn time. You, in a way, you make more money than you would with a company driver, but the way the truck industry is, you're probably, if I would have stayed a company driver when I was leasing those trucks, I probably would have made the same amount of money with less stress. They would have been paying for repairs, fuel, everything. I would have just been a company driver and I would have been making my money. But I didn't know the game and I didn't have the knowledge about going to the lot, building your credit, building your business credit, you know what I'm saying, then going to get a truck. I had to learn how to do that on my own. I watched tons of YouTube videos. Oh, they're ready for me to go. I watched tons of YouTube videos. Then I was able to sit up there and do that. But thanks for watching the video, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. I got some good content for y'all. Let's get it.